That's it.
We're on.
We're off.
Good. What is this, episode 4?
It's episode 3 because it is episode 4. It is episode 4.
We're calling it 4.
But we fumbled on 3 due to technical difficulties.
I haven't even published the first one. If you're watching, if you're one managing to watch this, somehow I have figured out how to get it online. So it's a good start if you're now watching this. Yeah. If anybody's watching, this means I figured out anyway. We'll talk about that offline.
They're edited but not posted.
They're edited but not posted. Yeah. But we're building a bank of great.
That's what we're doing. 5 episodes.
Absolutely.
Episode 5.
Good.
We'll put them all out.
I wanted to start off, as we always do, just pick a topic and then we just roll and freestyle. Measuring self-worth. Ooh. Yeah. I was listening to something in a podcast yesterday, and he was talking about.
Can you measure self-worth?
This is a thing, right? So it was a question, and then I created a reel around it. And the question was, what if you stopped measuring self-worth by what you produce and started measuring it based on how you connect? And then what I basically talked about is how.
Say that again.
What if you stop measuring your self-worth based on what you produce and started measuring it on how well you connect? Which I think is a perfect thing to talk about, because off air, you were showing me examples of your favourite bits of your holiday in Turkey, being fully present with the kids, and how I think as men, if I speak from my own experience and then we'll come to yours in a second, a few years ago, life coach training company that I started, startup, fast growth, did £500,000 in 18 months. Seems great. At home, things weren't good with me and Sally. Yeah. So the point being is that how do you measure success, self-worth? Like, is it external? Is it internal? How do you find that balance?
Well, it's a good thing to talk about. The truth of it is that self-worth is internal. There's nothing external about it. So true self-worth is essentially being at peace, right? Which is kind of what episode 3 was about, which it's unfortunate it's not going to get aired because it was about meditation, being at peace, being at balance. Yeah. True self-worth is essentially being at eternal peace. Like, you can want, my take on it is that you can want everything material under the sun. You can achieve everything material under the sun, but like I was just saying to you a minute ago, that you said to me was the best thing about the holiday. I stayed in the best hotel there. We had the best room there. My best moment came, which was something which was God made on the beach.
Yeah, nothing to do with the hotel. It was on the sand.
Nothing to do with the hotel. Yeah. It was like an everyday thing. Yeah. Whereas you was out there, it was just you're just watching something which is again God made, and you're watching two things which obviously we produce, and it's just like, oh well, that's the true measure of self-worth. I think. I would say.
See, it's funny you say that, because I've really, the last year or so, I've actually struggled with setting goals. Okay. Because I feel like I've gone so the other way. Yeah. I'm becoming so hyper-present and hyper-aware that the point of a goal, because I used to have this thing, and maybe other people can relate. Maybe some people, maybe this might be a breakthrough. I used to think that I really did believe when I achieve my goals, I'll feel something, and that will be the thing that I don't yet have, which will complete me. Yeah. And then once I forget those of you that think this is a bit psychobabble, the science that shows all the things that we think we want, all they really are just feelings. Yeah. And those feelings are internally manifested, created. So it's like, I don't know if you've ever had this experience, but I know I have. When I click buy on a holiday, there is a rush of dopamine that is often as good. Like the last holiday, click buy, because Sage is 5, she's old enough to be in the process. Yeah. The holiday's booked, Sage. We're looking at it on YouTube, look, this is where we're going to go. Yeah. And Sage was like probably more excited watching it on YouTube on the TV than when we actually went there.
100%.
So what I mean is I'm now realising that goals are good, but they're not, then if they're to be obtained just for a feeling inside, the feeling's already inside. So then becomes about, so how do you then, especially for men, how do you then pursue a goal, but pursue it without the, oh, when I get that, I'll feel this. It's like, you already got that. Yeah. So then you need to figure out a new reason to achieve the goal, which for me is about, now it's about what can I do that helps someone else. Because if it's not about, because everything else is like, it's pointless for me. It's got to be now be, if I'm going to achieve that, what is that going to do for somebody else?
So exactly what you said there is exactly where I'm at as well. I've been so far in the sense that business, money, money, money. I told you, Barclays used to put me on stage to speak to people, how you made your first million at such a young age or stuff like that. And at the time, I never used to appreciate it. Now I've gone the exact opposite way. I'm not interested in the monetary value, although the gaining the money side of it. I'm more interested in helping people, like you're saying. But you still need to live.
Of course.
So you still need to set a goal. You still need to have an achievement. You still need to work. Get off your ass still. Helping people is not going to make you money. Helping people will give you peace, or give you fulfillment, give you a bit of joy, or make you feel good. And you're helping other people in the process of doing it. But it's not going to pay your bills. So
you've got to understand marketing and know how the world works. 100%. And go, there's the philanthropic people that say, I don't care about money. And then there's the people that go, I really care about money. And I think it has to be fulfillment really is in the middle.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it's about how can I help other people get what they want?
Yeah.
And at the same time, it financially rewards me.
Yeah.
So I can have all the life that I want.
Yeah, exactly. Which is kind of like the road that you've gone down.
Yeah.
Which is kind of, so you're helping people.
Speaking on stage now for me is great.
And that can be seen as two things. Yeah. So like when I first started thinking about, okay, I want to speak on stage, it was very much about, okay, what do you want to talk about? And it was, okay, I want to help people. Yeah. But then that's such a broad term. I want to help people. Yeah. What do you want to help people do? Yeah. I want to help people get out of bed that are struggling. So what are you going to do? You got to motivate them. Yeah. And I thought by doing a few videos online, people will listen and they're going to think, okay, cool, that's right, it might sink in. Actually, what I think now is people want to see you do it.
Yes.
They don't want to see a guy sitting in a car or sitting in the studio thinking, okay, cool, you just spoke a great game. Yeah. But they need to see they need to see you deliver. For sure. So like, it is funny. So when you're saying like fulfillment and like essentially inner peace is what you're saying. How can you measure that? You can only measure that internally. You can only measure that by the feeling that you have. And truthfully, you can measure it by the size of your smile. Yeah. That's an honest one. Like you can measure up, like, when you're coming into whatever environment you're in, are you head down, chest, kind of within itself, or are you, proud, chest out, head up, smiling, greeting everybody, are you nice? Because that's kind of a sign, that's an indicator of, okay, cool, that person's happy. Yeah. Well, it might be fake happy, but, at least they're portraying that they're happy. Yeah. So can you measure it? Not properly, but the person will know. Yeah. The person will know.
We talk about
if you were to say, are you fulfilled?
I'd say there's areas where I am and areas where I'm not.
Yeah.
And I'd say the areas where I am, I think it's just that I know I'm doing something that I feel serves a greater good.
Yeah.
So speaking on stage gives me fulfillment. The men's groups I'm doing gives me fulfillment. If I see Sati, content, happy, gives me fulfillment. Yeah. If the kids are the same, gives me fulfillment.
Yeah.
And then there's other areas where I'm not. Maybe like health. I've had a few health issues recently, things like that.
Age is hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's killing me.
Yeah.
42 and breaking every day.
Yeah.
So you can't quit.
No. When I think about self-worth, for me, one of the things I want to speak about is, so after recording this, I'm going to jiu-jitsu. And David Gung's we always talk about him, don't we? Talk about doing hard things. Yeah. And I'm going to jiu-jitsu because I a few years ago, those who are watching won't know, but I was entered to do an MMA white collar thing. And I pulled out. Because I now know reverse engineering, looking at it, it was a masculine thing, and I was afraid of that energy. And I'm going because that's an energy that I feel the more and more I do hard things, like I'm training for the High Rocks as well, the more I do hard things, I feel like the more self-worth I have.
Yeah.
So even like going online and speaking about feelings, like I've noticed my self-worth dial has gone up because it's been me being more real on social media.
Well, me and you always say at the end of this, it's like me and you have a counselling session amongst each other.
Yeah.
But we're just talking our stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, we kind of half the time we don't even look into the camera. We just talk to each other. Yeah. But the camera's just there. But it becomes a counselling session to us. Yeah. So I had a conversation with a friend the other day, and then it was, how do you deal with trauma? Ooh. And then that's the thing. So I was going to do a video on this on Sunday, and then it's a subject which I don't think you can do a 1 minute video on, because how do you deal with trauma? Yeah. So self-worth again to feel self-worth, you have to deal with the trauma.
Yeah.
And then every time I've felt that I've gone through any form of trauma, whether it's big trauma, little trauma, or whatever, I've always gone to journaling.
Right.
Journaling, I think, is one of the most overlooked features of like, you know, overcoming trauma.
Yeah,
meditation,
yeah.
you know, like, which we've obviously spoken about. Yeah. Those two things alone are the most important thing. But then the question I was asked was, well, the comeback from my question was, why are you not journaling? I don't know how to journal.
Well, that's what the person says.
Yeah, and I was like, well, how can you not know how to journal?
Okay.
You know,
It's fair though. It's like going, how do you mean you don't know how to squat? And
Exactly
you
that.
and I take for granted, because I remember when I didn't journal, and I maybe didn't even quite think I knew what the word journal meant.
Yeah.
So I can put myself in that mind and
Yeah.
go, yeah, because it's a real can of worms. I think about certain people who don't do it, who aren't comfortable talking about what they feel, let alone even just writing it privately. It's like, it's deep. It's like when you think about, like, I had that imagination of like a little girl with a journal and she's got a lock on it and keeps it to herself. It's really private.
Of course it is.
And it's like, do I even want to face my thoughts myself on paper?
Yeah.
Let alone speak it the way you and I speak it.
So that was the thing. So I used my example of it, and I actually didn't know I was journaling at the time. I was driving to a beach, I was by myself, and something just came into my head, and I just wrote it down, purely because I wanted to put it as, you know, when you think of something, you think, oh, I'll remember that, and then 10 minutes later you forget it, and you're like, you're racking your brain.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I want to remember that. So I wrote it down, and then this is how I knew this was going to heal me. And I got to the beach, I was sitting there, and I just read back what I wrote. I remembered it anyway, but I just read back what I wrote, but I read it out loud. And I cried my eyes out for a good few minutes, but I just remember from there, I thought, okay, cool, this is the way. So because it felt good, it felt like a weight had lifted off my shoulder.
Nice.
So I just went further into it. And I wouldn't say I journal every day or every week. I would say
Did you physically pen to paper?
Literally just on my phone. So it just started in my phone.
Cool.
And then just in my notes section.
Okay.
And then now I'll do that for life.
Yeah.
So every time, like, I've either achieved something where I thought I did it for the right or wrong reason, whether I've got something and, you know, like, life just worked out, I've just gone, it's the first thing I do.
Yeah.
Like, a stupid thing when went to pick up, and I did it intentionally because I wanted to have that moment.
Yes.
So I went to pick up my car from Birmingham when I went to get the Lambo, and then, like, first thing would be is, okay, my son's going to come in the car with me, and I was like, nah, I want to be in the car by myself. I want to get home by myself. I just want to have that minute. And then I think, like, as in, Shani was pretty much like, oh, do you just want to appreciate the moment? And I was like, no, I want to just have that moment with essentially my diary, like, just me and my diary. And then the only thing I wrote was, we did it. That was it, we did it. So that wasn't like, you know, a matter of, the only reason I got the car was for my son. I just wanted to show him it's not on YouTube, you can get it in real life.
Yeah.
But the main part of that moment for me was writing in that we did it.
Yeah.
Like, and I'd had it before, so I wasn't bothered about the car. It was just about, like, you know, like, me and, like, my spiritual guide kind of like, okay, cool, you know what, I've still got it. So that's why, like, when people say to me now about setting goals, and I have a lot of people who have kind of made it, lost it, made it, lost it, made, lost it, which I know that which are capable.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of people which come to me at the moment that say, you know, they've achieved their goal, what now? How do we do it again? Yeah. And it's like they kind of lose their way. So and that's where now I think that I'm at. I would say, like, I've done what I've got to do. Like we just said a minute ago, you know, I want to go down helping people and, like, you know, getting them somewhere. But now when I'm looking at it from a business world, and I'm like, okay, cool, how do I set my goal? Where do I set my target? Because now in my head I know, all right, cool, don't ever set your target too close. Don't ever don't ever think about what you can achieve, because you're going to achieve that. How do I set my next target? So where you're saying is where you're at, is exactly where I'm at.
Yeah.
It's just like the circumstance behind it will be different.
Yeah.
But in terms of that mental framework, we're kind of in identical places.
One of the things I like about what you said is about the writing down, we did it. Something I don't think a lot of people do enough of. if I speak from experience, is integrating the win.
Yeah.
So what I got from what you just said is you sat and you integrated the win.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, I've definitely been guilty of this, so on the pursuit of the goal, when they achieve the goal, they don't integrate the win. So you think of a football team, so I think of like the famous like Manchester United of the 90s.
Yeah.
If you've seen anything about Alex Ferguson, he would always make sure that when like European Cup 99, they'd always make sure they celebrated, really, really properly celebrated. Not just the trophy lift, but like a good, he'd be like, make sure you take at least a full week, 10 days to celebrate. But then we have a date, and he would speak about it, like we have a set date where we have to stop celebrating.
Yeah.
And we have to let it go and move on then. We have to reset. Yeah. But I think that really is important, that integrating the win.
You have to.
So important.
You have to understand what you've done. Like, silly things now, which I do. And I've done it forever, to be fair. I've done it since I was probably like 20 years old. You know, like your small wins.
Yeah.
I don't think people celebrate the small wins.
No.
And that's so important.
Yeah.
Massive part of self-worth, because it gives you that, like you're saying, you're going to do the high rocks.
Yeah.
That's a good small win.
Yeah.
It's a good small win.
Or even us being at episode 5 on this. Like
Simple.
We've done a few now.
People normally stop after 3.
Yeah.
That's the truth. Yeah. We haven't even published anything.
Yeah.
There's no reward for it. There's no
and that's another beautiful thing, right? We're still doing it, even though there's not been a...
Because the love's there
absolutely.
for it. Because the love's there for
absolutely.
it. But like, I've got this one thing every time like I say, I've done it since I was like 20 years old. Achieve something small, like which is kind of like half decent. Snickers and a Red Bull. Always done it.
Really?
Honestly, I've always done it.
That's your
I've
symbol.
always done it. When I used to have that vehicle hire company.
Full fat Red Bull?
Oh, 100%. Full fat Red Bull and double Snickers bar.
Oh, risky.
It has to be double Snickers bar. But like every time I did it, it's like when my old business partner, we used to buy vehicles, we'd do it. Got to like 50 vehicles, yes. 700 vehicles, yes. We bought our Aston Martins, yes. Now, like the stuff that I do, anything I do, even if I just do it by myself, I don't care about celebrating with you. Like, like Snickers and Red Bull.
So if anyone buys a second-hand Lamborghini and there's a Snickers and a Red Bull
packet,
they know you owned it.
Absolute fact. Absolute fact. Like, and that's why, like, with my car now, it's always a mess. So people will come into the car and they're like, yo, you live like an absolute tramp, like, are you good? But they actually don't know, like, okay, I've thrown that Red Bull can on the floor. I don't value the car. No. Like, it doesn't bother me. Like, I know it's an achievement, and I'm like, okay, cool, like, it's great.
Yes.
But when I got my last car, I didn't Snickers and Red Bull it. Because it was just, that's mine. There's no achievement in that now. Like, you know, you've done that.
Okay.
You can buy 10 cars 10 times over. Like,
so why didn't you Snickers and Red Bull that one?
Didn't mean anything. Didn't mean anything. The most important thing to me about that car is the headline of the car. It's got stars in there. Okay. And then the constellations are set to my kids. Okay. That's the most important thing about that car. It's the only reason that stopped me selling the car now. Okay. Otherwise, I'd have been the car off ages ago. Like, it actually, like, not interested in it whatsoever. Yeah. So, like, that one didn't. But, honestly, when we publish this, I'll Snickers and Red Bull it. Yeah. This is an achievement. Like, when me and Ryan do our stuff, I Snickers and Red Bull it. Yeah. He don't like chocolate, so I can't do it with him. But like that, when we publish this, me and you Snickers and Red Bull, like, that's an achievement to me. That genuinely is an achievement to me because it means something. Yeah. Like, anyone can buy a car. Yeah. All it takes is get off your ass and work. Yeah. You know, have a plan, have a dream, put it into action. Yeah. Something like this, and actually opening up and going from being so closed off to social media, to literally talking about all of your shit on social media. Yo, that's mad for me. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, are you actually doing that? So I did a video on Sunday. I put it out there. Normally, I always tell the kids, this one I was just late, so I just quickly whacked something out. I just put it up, and then went back home, and my daughter was looking at me. So, well, you didn't even tell me. Like, you didn't even tell me you were doing this one. You normally show me the video beforehand. But things like this now mean a lot more to me than, okay, cool, you can go buy Rolls Royce. Great. You can do that as well. Nothing's separating you. Like, I'm evolving as a person. I'm evolving as a human being. And as a result of that, I'm evolving as a dad. I'll tell you something. Actually, I had Snickers and Red Bull yesterday because a guy from the gym, he asked me for a little bit of advice on sacrifice. Okay. And then, so I made sure, I liked the guy, I got a lot of time for him, so I made sure I didn't rush my response. And then he said, his question was, How do you know a good sacrifice from a bad sacrifice? How do you know how to make a good sacrifice from a bad sacrifice? I asked him to explain. Yeah, it was a deep question, so I asked him, I goes, can you explain, go a bit further into it? And he was like, well, life gets in the way. How do you know to drop this out, drop that out? How do you know? And then my response to him was essentially, you choose your sacrifice based upon the destination you want to go. Yeah. If you want to have ultimate wealth and ultimate success, you know, your friends are going to go, your time out's going to go, your family's going to suffer, as both of us have all the time. You know, you're going to miss out on everything that your kids do. But the end goal is going to be, you're going to have a good amount of wealth because you'll make the right decision because you're focused up top. And you will then, you know, you'll be able to provide your kids, which is essentially what he was saying he wanted to provide for his kids. I flipped it on him a little bit. And then I was like, but you'll miss out on everything that your kids do, as we do, right? As parents, as men, essentially, your role is, your duty is to provide. That's what it's always kind of been. We miss out on everything. You know, mum's always there, dad's always at work. How else can he make a sacrifice and provide? You can't. You have to give your time.
It has to be opportunity cost.
You have to give your time to the cause. So when I'm going through stuff like this with him, and I'm kind of like then thinking, oh, you've done well. Like, you know, you've done all of your stuff. You've done what you set out to do. You know, and he said to me, this is why I had the Red Bull, and he goes, I'd love to be a dad like you. And I messaged him back, he goes, why? He goes, because you put...
Is he a dad?
He's not. He's not. Okay. But he basically was saying that when he is a dad, he takes lessons from what he sees of other people. Okay. But he was saying that how my kids are growing up, they're growing up with confidence, they're growing up with, like, you know, faith, they're growing up with believing their ability, they're respectful, stuff like this. And the main thing is that I put into him, you fall down, get back up. Like we spoke about, you know, if you hurt, get back up. Don't show anyone you're hurt. Fall down, get back up, have a strong mind. Because like, I see that, he goes, that's what I want to put into my kids. And then like a proud dad moment for me, I was like, let's go, Snickers and Red Bull.
Nice.
Like, so that's to me, that's when I say a small win. Because what's your biggest fear as a dad?
They don't fulfil their true potential.
There you go.
That's it, really.
So when someone says to me, you know, you're doing a good job.
It's all internal.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, you know, do you know if you're doing a good job with them? You only kind of know by how they act around others. Because at home they act like idiots. Yeah. Like, you know, and I act like an idiot with them. Yeah. In public, they know how to handle themselves. Yeah. When like Sai does gymnastics or Cease in his football, he falls down, gets back up. Yeah. You know, I'm doing a good job, man. That's what it's supposed to be. Yeah. And that's the Snickers and Red Bull moment for me now. And that's like, so it's a small win for me. Massive. People need to be able to celebrate. Yeah. It's a small win. Go buy yourself a handbag. Yeah. You know, you done well on a run, like yourself. You do your high rocks. What's your celebration before you doing the high rocks?
Oh, we'll go for a meal.
Lovely.
We'll go for a meal.
Perfect. Put your phone to the side and enjoy it.
Yeah.
That's stuff like that. Yeah. But that's also that's a family reward. Yeah. What's your reward going to be?
Good question.
Snickers and Red Bull, Miles.
Snickers and Red Bull. I don't have one, but what I do want to do is create a Snickers and Red Bull. Yeah. Mine won't be a Snickers and Red Bull. Yeah. But I think what I love about that is it's really easy and simple.
It didn't have to be anything like.
Yeah. I'm gonna create.
You don't have to go buy yourself a big watch, because again, same thing. You're gonna go buy yourself a nice watch. You're not gonna value it. Yeah. Like, you know, you're not gonna be bothered. No. Whereas the beauty of a Snickers and Red Bull is, for me, that first sip of Red Bull, it's nice. Yeah. And Snickers, I never ever have it. It's not even my favorite chocolate. Yeah. But for some reason, every time you have it after a long time, that's it. I just literally fell into it. But I had it, and every time I have it now, it's just like, it actually tastes nice. Yeah. That's like that's it. So it's small wins. Yeah.
I want to go back to you know, you talk about trauma.
Yeah.
And you were saying journaling.
Trauma's a big one.
Yeah. I want to talk about this.
Trauma's actually an episode in itself.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. When I think about trauma, one of the things I do a lot is that I do a lot of breath work. Yeah. And I do a lot of somatic breath work. So for those of you that don't know what that is, somatic breath work is basically.
We're not.
Yeah, kind of. He's probably renowned for it. But yeah, somatic breath work, lay down, eyes closed. It's probably about a full process by about an hour and 15 minutes. Yeah. 3 or 4 rounds. Yeah. Guided by an instructor who might be just someone I'm watching on YouTube. Every time I do it, there'll be some kind of extraction of emotion, sadness, something comes up, right? I found that's the one for me.
Breathing's deep.
Breathing. I think if someone's watching and they've got some kind of trauma, I'm not a trauma expert.
Yeah.
There might be someone listening who's got like PTSD. I'm not a clinical practitioner.
Yeah.
But what I do think is breathing. We all do it all the time. Breathing in a very controlled way, like that, will, I think, really bring stuff up to the surface so it can be released. I think we have to feel to heal. I think we have to allow ourselves to feel things.
Breathing's proven of sorting trauma out. You know, that's why when the people meditate, that's why they say go to meditation, because it's essentially a lot of breathing, isn't it? You just close your eyes, the only difference. But through your nose, out through the mouth, simple stuff, hold it in your chest. It's one of the best things. The reason why they say it's one of the best things is because it allows you to digest the shock. So I think we said in our last episode, when you cold plunge, what's the first thing you do? You breathe your way through it, because the shock factor. And then I think I said in the last one, obviously the one that's not being aired, like my son Assis, every time in football he takes a tackle, he hates it. When he falls to the floor, he could take the tackle, no problem, but he falls to the floor. In his head, he's fallen on the floor. So that's why with him, I say fall down, get back up. You know, he wants to be a captain, fall down, get back up. His teacher, his coach Lewis, said to him, because it's just the shock. So when you're shocked, what do you do? And then, you know, he goes, just take a deep breath. So now every time he falls, even if he cries, first thing he'll do is look at me, I'll just go, you know, get your breath back. And once you get your breath back, it allows you to regulate your emotion. Once you can regulate your emotion, you can think, the fall didn't hurt that much. Then same thing from a trauma point of view. Once you can regulate your emotion, you can think, okay, did that affect me as much as I'm making it did, or is it just my head playing games? Because that's essentially what we always want to talk about, is your head playing games. Like, this is a mindset podcast essentially. So how can we help people to strengthen the mind and be more positive in themselves? I would say that's probably one of the first rules, is breathe your way through it. You know, journal your way through it, breathe your way through it. Allows you to think through your problem instead of stressing about your problem. Because stress is going to be the killer. You know, like, let it go. Don't let the bad stuff go, and that will come with not overthinking. Just go into it a little bit. Think about the issue, and then once you thought about it, journaled it down, you breathe your way through it. Oh, cool, wash it away. And then go have a Snickers and Red Bull, because that's a small achievement.
That's it.
That's a big
and achievement.
Talking's phenomenal. Talking's phenomenal. It's actually it's for every time we do this, even though, like, I think I'm quite a strong-minded individual, you always come away and you feel better. It's like that counselling session.
Because you can. Because it's like, we use the gym analogy. You can feel you look good, but you need to train. It's like you've got your body's now currently a credit or debit of how you've trained up until this point. And if you go a couple of weeks, it won't make any difference. But you won't look different, but you'll feel different. And then you have one workout that's really good, and all of a sudden you feel how you did 3 weeks ago, even though the body's not changed. You feel like you did 3 weeks ago because you've trained harder. It's the same with this. Like,
but it's beautiful though. I wish the government would do something with. You can't force people to do anything, but getting people into the gym environment. I don't care where it is, but it helps on so many different levels, from a mental health perspective to making friends to learning about how to deal with different people, and you will look and feel better as a result of it. You could come in and just walk for 20 minutes on a treadmill, you're going to lose weight. So when someone says you're overweight, like, I'm overweight, like, I've gone on holiday, and it's the first time I've gone on holiday, Miles, I was fucking out of shape. Oh my God, we ended up having to go shopping beforehand because all my clothes were tight around my tummy. So I was like, nah, I'm not doing that. And then, like, because I've always gone away on holiday and I'm, like, quite lean. I've gone away this time, and for the first few days, like, and I've taken my top off, and I'm just like, oh God, you know, I feel a mess. I feel a mess. And then I put it down to age. I was like, okay, cool. Like, you know, I know I didn't train hard, but my shoulder hurts, my leg hurts, my foot hurts. I'm injured all the time. And then, okay, how are we going to set the example for the kids? So now I'm back on it again. Like,
I saw this thing online the other day, and I kind of hope you didn't see it, because I'd feel awful if you did. but it was Rooney and Ronaldo side by side as they are now.
Yeah,
Did you see it?
I haven't seen it, but I already
you know how Rooney, you know Rooney's body composition right now,
mad, yeah,
and you know Ronaldo's body composition
it's crazy,
right now.
It's crazy, but that's a mindset.
Yeah.
Thing.
And the only thing I'll say in Rooney's defence, he's not playing professional football right now the way Ronaldo is. That's the only thing I'd say, but that doesn't. But then that's where it's the dangerous ground of I'll allow my standards to drop because he's got this thing that I can't do.
Difference is one of them's done.
Yeah.
One of them had the goal set here.
Yeah.
One of them's goal was up here.
Yeah.
Rooney's done everything he wanted to do.
Yeah.
That's it. Ronaldo is never going to be done. No. And he's got that in his head. Like he wants to he's probably going to retire after Messi.
I don't know what he's going to do when he retires. I mean, I don't know if he plays golf, but I keep thinking about sports that older men can do like that. I could see him playing golf.
Would you put it past him?
I wouldn't put it past him to play golf and win a major. Because of the mind.
One of my I don't like the word idol, but like essentially he pretty much is Kobe Bryant.
Right.
So like known as like one of the best basketballers ever to have existed. He went into writing books.
Yeah.
He was writing kids books.
Yeah, I knew that.
Which is absolutely crazy. It's like, he's gone.
What about people forget? Staying on, people forget Jordan retired in his prime and went to have a go at baseball.
Yeah.
He flopped, but he was like, never mind, I had a go.
That's it.
And he went back and then won again.
Yes, I won 3 times.
3 times.
Three times, or 3-peat. But like them, when you look at the elites, like the belief that they have in themselves, and they don't care whether you believe it or not. Like they believe it in a different way. It's the biggest difference.
Yeah.
Like the belief levels they have. Like Ronaldo just believes in himself more than Rooney. He just thought, okay, cool. Rooney was like probably the best English footballer ever to have come out of the UK, without doubt.
Yeah.
But look at them in comparison of where they are now. Yeah. Not that Rooney hasn't achieved anything. Like who are we to say that?
If he's cool and he's content and he's fulfilled.
Rooney has absolutely annihilated the football league. At the age of 16, came on and bullied every man under the sun on the. I was watching something about him against Lilian Thuram, and like he's absolutely annihilated the best French defender. And then like so he's come on, he's done what he's wanted to do in the game. But then you got someone like Ronaldo, who's done what he's wanted to do in the game as well, but he's still not done. Yeah. Like it's amazing. It's amazing. So and then you look at stuff like that, and you're like, okay, cool, 45 or 42. I'm not that old. Can I still do it? Yeah. And that's why I know I've still got competitiveness in me, because I'm like, okay, cool, can I still do it? Yeah. And then it becomes not about proving it to others, because I have people call me out all day, but it's like, okay, cool, can I?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm at a point right now, Amar, where I'm like, I'm basically going, I'm gamifying my life.
Yeah.
So I'm basically treating my whole life like a game. Yeah. So rebuilding my life coach training business, and I'm just making it a game. Whether it succeeds or not, I'm not blasé about it in a like flippant way, but I'm being blasé about it because I can't control the outcome. I can only control the input. Yes. But I'm focused on, I'm gamifying it, because if it's not, because I've realised one of my highest values is fun. Has to be fun. Yeah. So like fitness, making it fun. I love high rocks because it's fun. Yeah. I see guys in the gym just lifting weights. Yeah. And no judgment on them, but I realise, because I had a workout this morning which is just a strength session, I found it incredibly boring.
Don't like it.
I don't like it because I've realised that that for me doesn't feel fun. Like kids in the playground are playing, they're swinging, they're climbing. And why I love about a high rocks and why I'm going to go and do jiu-jitsu, it's because it's falling around, it's climbing, it's swinging, it's bending, it's lifting, it's springing, it's jumping.
Adults can learn more from kids than kids can learn from adults.
Massive.
That's the truth. Yeah. Like kids don't know fear. All adults know is fear. Yeah. Like kids don't know how to take anything serious. No. Like all adults do is take things serious. Yeah. So that's what, like exactly like you're saying, I act like a kid most of the time because I don't want to make my kids' life serious. Yeah. And 2, I'm conscious of putting fear into them. Yeah. I'm conscious of putting stress.
Achieving goals doesn't. I said on stage last week, I'm like, take your business seriously. Yeah. You don't need to take yourself seriously.
Even in business, I've always found, the most serious people never make it in business.
Or if they do, they don't enjoy it.
They don't enjoy it, yeah. No. Like out of all of the businesses that I've had, and like some of them are successful, some of them are not successful, some of them are real successful. Yeah. I've always maintained that same thing. Don't worry about it, we'll figure it out. What are you stressing for? Don't worry about it, we'll figure it out. What is worrying going to do? Yeah. Nothing. No. Is it going to solve the problem? No. Is stressing about it going to solve the problem? You're going to lose your sleep at night. Is it going to solve the problem? It doesn't. So the problem going to be there tomorrow. It's still going to be there tomorrow. So cool, we'll sort it out tomorrow. And then like people see that, and they're like, "Wow, you never take anything serious." Yeah, damn right, I don't take anything serious, because like it is like you're just saying, it's a game.
Yeah.
It's an absolute game, and I think that's where, like, one of like it's a business saying. It's come from like a rapper, but it's a good business saying. If you chase money, it runs. If you make money, it's different.
Yeah.
Like when you chase money and you become obsessive about money, you're not going to get it.
No.
You're not, because you're doing it with the wrong reason.
Too attachment to it's
it.
Excess importance, they call it.
Yeah, so you're literally so focused on earning money, you forgot about the process in the middle.
I always say on stage, I make a joke, I say when I wanted a girlfriend, when I needed a girlfriend, couldn't get one. Because you're out on the chase. That's the thing, it's true. It's because you're out on the chase. But then, like, if you were just standing there in the middle of a club with your arms folded, and like, and you were probably just messing around with your mates. And it was just, lo and behold, I give up, and then I mess up.
And then you mess up. Exactly that. No, yeah, like, chasing things is never a good way.
No.
You become too focused on it, and then as over focus, you forget the process. You become obsessed with the wrong thing.
Yeah, I remember when I used to speak on stage, and I used to, Amar, if you'd have seen me a few years ago, it's like night and day. Like I'd review my slides every day, and there's a point where I go, professional sports stars, they practice a lot. I've re-engineered what practice means. So for me, I would be going through the slides to try and control the outcome of the result, and it never worked, and I never enjoyed it. Now, practice is breath work, meditation, workout, getting the right sleep, high performance stuff.
100%.
Notes, slides, don't care about that.
Athletes, it works different because it's muscle memory. It's muscle memory. It's like when I did speak on stage with Barclays, more so. Like, do you know what flow state is?
Yeah, of course. So, Csikszentmihalyi High wrote a book on that called Flow. Have you heard of that? I don't know.
No. So I just know the term.
I don't know if I pronounce his name.
Yeah, I just know the term, but like it was literally, I've always been good at just winging things. So okay, cool. Put me under the spotlight, or put me in like in a certain situation, and I can wing it. Because when you wing something,
you're able to get in the flow state.
That's it. It's easy. Like can you talk about yourself?
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Can you talk about your experiences? That's it.
Yeah.
And that's the flow state. Like an athlete, they know this, or they know football, or they know boxing. That's their flow. Yeah. But if you ask them a question on the spot, there's a lot of ums and ahs.
Because they'll intellectualize it, because they don't understand it at a conscious level. It's at an unconscious level.
That's it. They're not doing that on the regular.
Ask Lewis Hamilton to tell you what happens at turn 12. He won't know. Put him at turn 12. Boom.
Yes, exactly that. Yeah, he can explain his emotion through it, the feel. He'll know the bump of the road. But if you ask him about, like, as in something random about his life, or something random about business, whatever, he won't understand it. Ask him anything about racing. That's all he knows.
Yeah.
Ask him, even to a certain degree now, probably fashion, he'll know. But ask him something about life, he won't have an understanding of it. So like that flow state when people get into, when they over prepare, and like you're saying, like with your slides, I was shocking at school. I was like my mum and dad's worst nightmare. I was terrible. But when it came to presenting, I was so good. Like teacher could put me on. I was just good at just blagging my way through shit, basically. So like I remember one of my teachers, Mr. Brazier, business teacher, I created some slides. I remember doing it. It was absolutely fine. And then I didn't even know what slide was behind me. Old PowerPoint presentations. I didn't know what slide was behind me.
Look, that's good. That's good. That's good speaker 101.
Yeah, but it was literally, all I just knew was it was marketing. And like, okay, cool. This is how I'm going to market my business. This is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to get it to the end. And this is how we're going to make money off it. And then it was the only side of education I was only ever good at. I was terrible at maths, English, science. I loved science, but I was terrible at it. Yeah. But business, I just got it. And that's why I never, like, he'd be looking at me like, you're not even looking at what slide it's on. And I'm like, it could be on slide number 1, introduction, but I've taken you through my whole thing. It doesn't matter. I know I've done a good job, but that's because it's all I've known. Like, it's literally is all I've known. Like yourself, if you were to talk about stuff that you do, it's all you've known. Yeah. But if it naturally comes out, it will always come out better. Yeah. If you bullet point it and you think about it, or like you teleprompter something, you're just reading that from, my name is Miles and I'm going to do this. But if you say, no, my name is Miles, here you go, the personality comes out. So different. Yeah. People react to that. Yeah. People respond to that. Yeah. It's different.
Good episode.
Let's go. All right. They're all good.